Hey guys, today I'm going to be working on a pretty easy project. I just have to make a whole bunch of them. And what those are some little gift bags for Halloween for our neighbors. We have a fairly close knit neighborhood, I'm very happy to say. And more often than not, everybody kind of takes turns doing different tasks in the neighborhood. And these little treat bags are just kind of like a way to say thank you, kind of a boo surprise type deal, because I'm just going to leave them at their door. Anyways, or I might do them in their mailbox. I haven't decided yet. But, anyways, what I'm going to be using are some existing files that I've already purchased and a font that I found online. So, first, let me get the bag open. Hit cancel, I'll download that later. And I'm going to see what bag I have, if any. I might not have one. I'll just use this box. So you guys really are watching me kind of wing it, in case you're wondering. So I know I'm going to be using 8.5 by 11 paper, so I'm going to go ahead and take this and stretch it out as big as I can make it, because these aren't going to be large bags. And this is really a box with a flap, and I don't want the flap or this hole. So I'm going to go ahead and ungroup this image by right-clicking, clicking ungroup. And it looks like everything's sorted out. So I'm going to delete that and delete that. And I don't want this flap either. So I'm going to use this knife tool to try to turn this into an actual bag. So I have a straight edge. There actually is some other things. I thought about using this triangle, but I have a feeling this is not going to work out. So I'm just going to stick with the straight edge. And I'm going to change this to solid. And I'm just going to cut off this top portion here because I don't need it. So now I have this piece and this piece, all of which, all this extra stuff, I'm going to go in and delete. Whoops. Did not mean to do that. So I'm just going to hit Control Z. And I'll delete everything this way. Now there's something going on right here, which I cannot tell what that is. Maybe nothing. It looks like it's really nothing. So I'm going to leave it alone. So I'm going to zoom out, draw a box around everything, right click and group it back together so I can move it as one unit. And for the front of my bag, I'm going to put a little pumpkin face so I can tape or glue some vellum on the inside so it looks like a little pumpkin. So I'm actually going to be using a font. I found a font online that is Pumpkin Faces, and I will link it down in the description box down below. And for some reason, when I type it here, I have a really hard time getting to it. So I'm going to highlight, just type a letter on the keyboard, and I'm going to see if I can type to get to it. Oh, I can. Okay, that was not working before when I was trying to download it. But anyways, you can see here's the font. It's a bunch of little pumpkin faces. And I'm just going to do a different variety of faces on my different bags. But what I discovered is each letter is a different face through the alphabet, you know, A through Z. And then if you do a capital version of the letter, it's the face flipped the other way. So I'm going to go and just randomly change this to the face that's on E. And we'll stick with that one for this particular bag. So I have it selected here. I'm going to make it big enough so it fits on the front. And I may stamp something down here that says Happy Halloween. I haven't decided yet. So I'm going to leave a little bit of space just in case I decide to do that. And that's it. I'm going to send this to the Silhouette to cut out and start assembling. Here I have two of the bags actually cut out, one in orange and one in black. And like I said before, I made several of these for the neighbors. So I alternated faces and colors between the orange and the black cardstock. And I did decide that I'm going to go ahead and emboss Happy Halloween down at the bottom of each one of the bags. The black bag I'm doing in clear, and the orange bags I'm doing in black ink. And I'll be able to remove that embossing buddy powder here in just a minute. But first I'm going to emboss the embossing powder using my heat tool. And then once the embossing powder has melted and it's actually cool, I'm going to take a dryer sheet to slowly wipe off all of that extra powder, and you'll see that in just a minute. But before I get involved with all that, I'm going to adhere a piece of colored vellum on the inside of the bag to cover the face. And this vellum is made by Making Memories, and unfortunately I don't think you can find it anywhere anymore. It was part of the old Slice collection of stuff. But anyways, here you can see that dryer sheet come out where I'm going to lift up the rest of that powder, and it's definitely not perfect, but it is good enough for this project and the intended purpose. And then following the lines of the box, I'm actually going to assemble it so it looks like a bag. So I have some really strong adhesive that I'm going to seal the bag shut with first, and then I'm going to close the bottom portion, and I just applied a little bit of adhesive to make sure that bottom portion stays closed. But anyways, here's a look at the final product, and as always guys, thanks for watching.